Okay, so that's a separate meeting and it's just focused on the business.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
Well, the people and the business, yeah.
What do you do from a family point of view?
Okay, so as a family, we'll go to dinner, or, you know, they'll come to home, or whatever it might be, we'll do that, and that's purely a family thing. So that's obviously got nothing to do with work. Our other daughter will join in, and yeah, it'll be just a nice family gathering.
Do you have a set of rules you stick by as a...
The only rule that we have really is we don't talk about work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is anything written down, obviously?
No, nothing written down in that one. It's just...
Okay. It's just we don't talk about work when we're at a family together.
That's right.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Okay.
It's taken a while to get there, but...
Have you had any other challenges other than the family dynamic? You know, just the way you work together? What other challenges have you come across?
I guess, you know, being so familiar with people is probably a challenge in itself.
Mm-hmm.
You know someone so well, so they walk in the door, you can go, ooh, you know, they mightn't be having a good day straight up. Whereas when it's a co-worker that maybe you don't know as well, that can be masked a little and you don't notice it so much necessarily. All those little things that can play up, you know, to create little problems. So what we try and do is deal with those straight up so that we don't, you know, it doesn't become a festering problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the relationships, because we have other workers there, you know, employees there as well, we need to make sure that they don't feel out of the family circle in the sense that they're being treated as lower class, or, you know, so we make sure that if it's somebody's birthday, it doesn't matter if it's a family member or a staff member, we celebrate their birthday on that day.
Great.
And, you know, we also say to our employees, families first. So if they have a sick child, or they have a school concert, or a parent-teacher meeting, all they've got to do is let us know and they can go to that.
So what you're telling me is the employees are treated as the family. From the point of view of employees working for you, are treated the same.
That's correct. Yep. Because it would never work otherwise.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. Tell me about this fast growth. What sort of challenges did you have with the speed of the growth, going from one sample to 4 planned to 12 made to 60 orders? That speed must have been a bit of a challenge.
It was really stressful. You know, you think, at first you think, oh, this is wonderful. And then you get to the point where you think, oh my. And there was so much learning to do as well. You know, we hadn't manufactured and sold before. You know, we weren't an old company. So we were flat out on our feet. We were striking problems, learning every day. And it was exponential, the growth. So it was near impossible for us to stay on top of. It was exhausting.
You were exhausted, I hear that. Your wife was probably exhausted.
Yes, definitely.
The kids being challenged. Was the growth, were the issues of the growth the production stuff, or the sourcing of the materials to build the stuff, or was it a finance thing, or was it just the volume, the sheer volume of questions that you needed to answer?
Yeah, so it was all of those things. And particularly the volume of customers. When you start dealing with that many people, that becomes very time consuming. And if you don't have systems and methods in place to deal with those problems, it can consume you, you know, consistently. So, and of course we didn't have policies and procedures in place to deal with large volumes of people because we hadn't done it before. So that was a huge learning curve, and another whole.
So you have policies and procedures in place now.
That's right.
Right.
And even to set those up takes time. So if you're rapidly growing, anything new you want to implement is just more work on top of the already being overworked. So, that's when we started employing extra people. I mean, we went through that first big growth hump without Amy. I look back and I don't know how we did it. It was 17, early 17, Amy came in, I think, and it was just such a relief. But then at the same time, she went, "Oh, you need these systems and procedures." And I think it was about the same time we joined family business, and we realised, there's a whole lot of things we need to do. So you've got to be so careful that you don't get stuck on one thing or overwhelmed with another thing. And of course, then there's the finance. These machines aren't cheap to build, so and everything's long term out. You're looking at at least 6 months lead time between buying materials and selling the machine, and trying to deal with the personal relationships in the family, and all that combined was overwhelming. Yeah, that speed of growth was.
Would you say you didn't have a plan?
No, yeah, definitely.
There was never a plan in place. It just all happened.
It just happened.
Yeah.
It really did, because, see, when I first developed this machine, I was developing it just to use it in my contracting business. I never really thought about it, exploding or taking off. And then, the manufacturer said to me, "Can we build more? You want to sell them?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." So I wasn't in that frame of mind even.
Yeah.
And then, we go from 12 machines to 60 machines was, not something I was ready for.
So how many machines are running around out there now?
There's 150 machines around Australia now.
Okay.
Yeah, approximately.
That's not bad for a few years, just having an idea of fixing something for your own use and having the validation that things are working. And you've got a new model coming out, I believe.
That's right. Yep. We're calling it the H4. Nice, simple name.
Yep.
It's still a refinator.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a hydraulic machine. So it's in that the old machines had a shear pin. For release. This has a hydraulic cylinder, so it's a lot heavier,
Okay.
a lot durable, much more advanced machine.
Okay. So that's going into the future. Where do you see it in the future, the business?
Hopefully a little more stable as far as growth goes. Just a nice steady growth would be nice. We've learnt to pull back a little bit. We've learnt to say no, which has been important. And selling into other markets other than farming would be good, because farming is so seasonal. We sell all our product between, virtually all the product physically goes out between Christmas and March. So there's 3 months of the year we're flat out putting product out there, and the rest of the year we're not doing it.
Okay. So growth, but planned.
Yes.
So you've got more plans in place now, the structures are in place, the processes and procedures, the families really get along well. You've got some nice little rules around that. A very simple one, family time is not business time.
Yep.
So what are some of the tips you could offer some of the people that are going to watch this?
Ooh. If you're starting out developing something, that's a whole different thing to just running a normal business. So if you've got an idea that you think's going to be wonderful, unless you've got a lot of assets or a really good backer, be really careful, because it's going to cost a lot of money, a lot more than you can ever imagine. So I've got a bit of a rule of thumb, and I've got no idea if it's accurate or not, but I say to people, think what you would sell that for, double it, because that's probably what you'll have to end up selling it for, at least double it. And then multiply that by 20, and that'll be about what it costs you to develop the product to the end.
Wow, that's a great rule of thumb.
So now we've got our own engineers. We work on things, carefully from the ground up. It's a much better system in place, but it feels incredibly slow compared to that initial process that I did. But of course, it works much, much, much better. But
So the savings are in the efficiency and the planning, doing it right the first time.
That's right. You're not building multiples of one thing to try and get it right.
And tips about family, bringing family on board?
Look, I think working with family's great, but I think when they're coming to you or you're bringing them in, if they're keen, they need to be treated as an employee and not just bringing someone in who's above everyone else. So this person needs to come in as an employee, and you need to wear the employer hat. And then when the day's finished, the employer hat comes off and the employee hat comes off, because it does have its dangers.
So are you saying you've got a contract with the girls?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you have a contract with your wife?
Yeah, I might not.
Well, I'm not expecting you to have one with your wife. I think that would be a bit of a different exercise. But if you've got one with the girls, that's a great thing. And knowing that they are employees when they're at work, they probably know that you're the boss when you're at work and they're at work. So, as a last line, Family Business Australia, have you found really, what sort of value have you found by being associated with them?
Okay, so Family Business Australia has been wonderful to us. We were struggling when we joined, and it really helped us doing those courses, the management courses, and just talking to other business people in family business certainly made a huge difference. And I can see so many family businesses that would have benefited from it from my past, where they've gone so wrong. And the problem with being in family business, you can slowly go off on the wrong direction, and you drive wedges into the family and they end up becoming enemies. I've seen it so many times. And it was purely because they didn't divide work from family. So yes, FBA is a wonderful thing, and I really encourage people to, if they're going to bring family into their business, or they've already got family in their business, FBA is certainly a big help.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, John.
Okay. I just want to thank Tim for joining us today, and thank you for sharing your time with us. John Broons, the family business guy, and this is the Family Business Show. Our sponsor today is Tech, the Executive Connection, and I look forward to seeing you again. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and you can send me an email at john@johnbroons.com. Thanks for watching.